It's just a different feeling in the room. It's like when you know, lose a football match and you walk into a room, people kind of,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, no. Well, I have to say, this one, I was, I came off of Tangled. That was my last
Tangled
film.
was a great movie too.
I loved
Yeah,
Tangled,
yeah.
and I thought, okay, well, this is gonna, I'm never gonna have one like this again because it was thoroughly joyous.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this one was just amazing. I mean, I'm actually, I'm as if not a little more proud because this one has so deep, rich theme. I mean, Tangled had great themes and great richness, but this one, I just am. I just feel that the emotional journey is really kind
It's
of
also, I mean, it's sort of iconic in its imagery. You know, there's a sort of instantly recognizable stamp. You know, Baymax just has that sort of, you know, and it comes around every now and again. Just an image just sticks in the brain. You just sort of see that character as.
Well, I have to say. Tangled had, the Rapunzel character really stuck, and in terms of the princess world, she maintains her, her eminence, if it were. But Baymax is he's an interesting cat.
And I found out with the even with personal, I got a big
Ready?
kick at it. Ready to rock? Beautiful. I know the firm Buddock Jung Don Hall, he was doing his usual duty of looking through the Marvel database, and this was one of the ideas he came to John Lasseter with. Was it something that you also recognized early on that this could be something different?
I think what I recognized was the emotional story between Baymax and Hero was going to be something that was really special, and I think with a superhero story, the great superhero stories have big emotional arcs, and I could see with this one, it was going to be a lot of fun to work on.
Well, the great thing about animation is that it's quite easy to sort of reshoot, so to speak, and it can change an awful lot in the last 6 months. It can be changed. Here, obviously, Baymax, he was pretty much a large, muscle-bound green demon who could change into a dragon in the original comic book from 1998.
Right, exactly.
And he's turned into something somewhere between Wally and a little bit of Totoro and maybe Khloe Kardashian in a pajama suit. There's a different look here. Was that all sort of very easy to get to, or was it a long road?
Well, the interesting thing is when we went to Marvel and said, "Hey, this is what we're interested in working with as a jumping off point," and they said, "It's yours, and you have complete freedom to do what you will. Make the movie that will, be the best." So we had complete freedom from them. We had them, two guys, Joe Quesada and Jeff Loeb, on the story team. So they saw the process all along. And it was really early that Don saw the Baymax in the form of a vinyl robot at Carnegie Mellon University. Right. That's what really defined him. And we knew, it was about a boy, goes through a loss, who's repaired by a robot. And once we found out that this kind of robotic, the soft robotics was being used by the medical industry, it made total sense.
Well, we're set in the not too distant future in the mashup city San Francisco, and it's as much Ghibli and Gorillas as it is, the Godfather of animation, Disney. Right. So I don't know if there were kind of notice boards, stick-ups, like I know Blade Runner's probably in there and manga. Were there certain sort of reference points that these are the looks that we're going to blend into this imaginary city?
It was through research that we got the look. We spent a lot of time in San Francisco, which is very easy for us in Los Angeles. But then we spent a lot of time in Tokyo. And definitely, when you have a great production designer in Paul Felix, when you have a great art director in Scott Watanabe, who happens to be half Japanese and half American, grew up in San Francisco, spent his summers in Japan, it actually was a very fortuitous mix. The team is always the group that gives you what you need.
It is, of course, a huge success, and already, as of January 19th, 2015, anyway, it's done 420,739,000, which I think just about covers the $165 million budget. I don't know if you feel early on, or maybe it is when it sort of goes over the budget line, that you sort of think, okay, we've got a hit here, I can relax. As a producer, do you feel that sort of pressure, or is it more about how
I think it's about the story. I think it's always about the story. I mean, the fortunate thing within the Disney is that Disney wants quality stories, and that's really what my job is. My job is to get the director's vision on screen. That's what I do, and I don't worry so much about the box office, although it's a very pleasant. It's a very pleasant time on Monday when you get the box office report and you see that people love your film.
There's good side effects to it.
And there are great side effects to it, absolutely.
The great Disney, they had their wonderful second coming in 1989 with The Little Mermaid, and now they're deep into their third coming, which is great. And since Lasseter took over in 2006, there's been a real definite turnaround. And
absolutely.
And obviously, I know that you were involved studio leadership, I think, on Frozen, so that would have been the main reason it was a huge hit. But that feeling within Disney that they're now in this sort of third coming, I don't know if it gives you any kind of feeling of vertigo, whether it sort of feels
no, I'll tell you what it does.
Up's
I've worked at the studio for 21 years. I was there during Lion King. I'm here now. The last 8 years have been phenomenal. I feel John helped this studio become an amazingly mature studio. Nothing changed. People, there wasn't like massive firings or any, changes of leadership. It was all about maturity. And John helped us become a better studio. John helped the directing team become better directors. John has helped the producers become better producers. I feel like I'm a better producer because of John Lasseter.
Well, there is that, and I've read quite a few of the books around, Disney Wars and all that, just about those wonderful shifts that happen in all great big, artists have it and companies have it and all that. But just the idea that you cannot ever really be sure, because there's John, he's done incredible work, and with Pixar, he's pretty much the Beatles in animation, and now they've sort of settled into being, for some people, maybe the Monkees, where things are starting to look a little bit too many sequels and so forth. But then he's doing incredible work with Disney. Those sort of power shifts that just happen in a good Hollywood story, never mind in businesses, those shifts must be sort of in the air, that you feel, well, it's a new day, it's a new time for Disney, and it's also new for Pixar, really.
Yeah, I think Pixar, you have nothing to worry about Pixar. I think the next film is going to blow people away, and I think the film after that, because I've been able to see screenings of those. And, we are extremely fortunate to have John as our leader, and it's been a really great 8 years.
I should ask how you're feeling about the Oscars. If I know Song of the Sea is in there as well, and Don has seen it. A beautiful looking movie. I think it won't necessarily pip Big Hero 6, but have you got particular...
Well, I know Tom, and I met Tom actually during Tangled, which was my last film, and I think he's an amazing talent, and, I'm just so proud to be part of the group,
Cool. And Big Hero 7, we don't know anything yet.
We don't know anything yet. Well, no, I'm thinking by the summer we'll have an idea if that's happening. It's an interesting thing. We have a passion for these characters. We fell in love with these characters. I've always been one who loves original IP. I love original IP. This is the first film I've ever worked on that I say, there could be a sequel on this one. But that doesn't mean anything until we sit down and figure out, is there a story that we can tell?
Rock August Roll. Thank you, sir. Nice to talk to you, man. Yeah.
Great to talk to you. Absolutely.
I was trying to think. I think I met you in Scotland for Treasure. Were you there for Treasure Island and
Treasure Planet? Yeah, no.
Oh, then I would have met you then.
Yeah. That was back in 2002.
There you go. And Hunchback as well, I think, 96.
I did Hunchback.
Yeah.
Did you go to there was a
somewhere, I'm not sure
at Disneyland Paris, we did a...
Yeah.
we did a junket there.
Yeah.
Exactly.